Thanks for listening to FYI Stillwater, where you hear information about your local government you didn't know you need to know. Be sure to check out other news and information from the City of Stillwater at stillwater.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Hi, I'm your host, Assistant City Manager Paula Dennison. Today, my co-host is Public Works Director Mark White. Hello and welcome.
Well, thank you for having me.
This is your first time co-hosting with us, isn't it?
It is my first time co-hosting.
Aren't you excited?
I'm very excited, yeah.
The radio can't see it, but we can see it all over your face. How excited you are.
Yes.
So today we have a guest. What are we going to talk about today?
We're going to talk a little trash.
Oh, exciting. Well, let me introduce our guest and we can get right into it. Today we've got Waste Management Director Chris Knight with us. Chris is a return guest to the podcast. He's been with us once, correct?
One time. Yeah. Thanks for having me back.
Okay, well, we're glad to have you. And Mark, you want to give us a few basic facts about waste management and Chris?
Yeah, Chris has been with the city for over 28 years. Waste Management provides municipal collection of residential and commercial waste and recycling services. They provide garbage, yard waste, glass, and single-stream recycling collection for Stillwater residents. They provide non-residential trash and cardboard recycling collection for business and multifamily dwellings. And they operate the Convenience Collection Center.
A lot of stuff that they do. So welcome, Chris. Glad to have you here today. One of the first things we do is we start with a lightning round, asking random but revealing questions. So I'm going to let Mark ask you some questions. Two of them you know, but I always have to throw in one that everybody is unprepared for.
Got to make me think.
So you can blame him for the question.
Okay.
She wants to catch you off balance.
Okay.
That's hard to do, though.
That is hard to do.
See if I can win the jackpot.
All right, here you go. What would the title of your autobiography be?
Simple man.
Simple man. Why simple man?
Because I'm just a simple guy. You know,
right.
my whole life's just simple. I like to keep it that way. I'm just a simple man.
I find you more unique than that. But anyway.
There's not a whole lot to me.
You're going to sail around the world. What's the name of your boat?
The name of my boat, and it would just be something that's meaningful to me. Maybe not everyone out there as we're sailing away. So the name of my boat would be LRK 73.
LRK 73.
LRK 73.
Is that a secret that you're going to hold close to your
No, that is
vest?
my wife's initials and her birth year.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Gotcha.
Kind.
Yeah.
It's really sweet.
Pretty special.
Right.
And last but not least, so you're a hard rock band fan. Demonstrate your favorite song.
Demonstrate it? I don't know if I can demonstrate it, but I can tell you my favorite song. It's Look What the Cat Dragged In by Poison.
I knew that one.
That's my favorite all-time song.
All right.
Don't you want to give us a little?
Yeah, I don't think that anyone wants to see or hear that, you know. That's kind of what I just do it at home by myself. You know?
Okay.
I don't know. You kind of got that rock star voice.
Yeah, I don't know if I can do Brett Michaels, but
All right.
that's my favorite song.
Chris, you've been with the city over 28 years. Tell us about your career path. How did you get from choosing to come to the city to where you are now?
Oh, well, choosing to come to the city, I'll be, honestly, I just needed a job and saw a posting for the city one day. I started part-time, actually, and just a summer help, and then it led to full-time, and then there's been a lot of different adventures throughout the 28 years, and I've been dealing with waste management about 12 years on and off, so. But there's been a lot of stops in between.
Yeah. So talk about your growth as not just a city employee, but moving on up through the ranks, crew chief to supervisor to now to department head, and some of the things you saw that you specifically wanted to work on as you progressed.
Well, starting out at the bottom, I got to really kind of experience through this whole journey every different level that you can have in the city government, from just your basic labor position to different levels to where you got a little extra supervision attached to the job. And so I got to really see how everything worked from every level, which I think has helped me become a better supervisor at the level I'm at right now as a director, because I really know I've been able to not only see but experience every level of how every aspect through the city government works, and being able to view it, and experience it. So I think that's really helped me to be able to understand what everyone's dealing with and going through, to help me be able to better communicate with them on a day-to-day basis.
Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, one of the things, Chris, that since I've been here, that I thought was neat about your career ambitions was you've involved yourself in a lot of different aspects of the city. So, you've involved yourself in public works, you've involved yourself in safety, operations, and I think those are all things that contribute to your success and polish, where you're at today. Do you feel the same way, that those are?
Well, yeah, my goal, and it wasn't my initial goal when I started the city by no means, but a few years in, I decided that I wanted to know how everything worked. So that's why I tried to try to get myself involved as much as possible, and just learn as much as I could, so I could be the best I possibly could be. And didn't know where the journey was going to go or lead necessarily, but I knew I wanted to know how everything worked, just so I could I'd just be the best I could possibly be for the organization.
So has this, seeing it from all the different levels, has that set you up so much better to mentor the staff that you have, so that you can help them grow in the organization, and hopefully they can have 28 plus years with the city also?
Well, yeah, I think far as mentoring, I'm really able to, I understand a lot of the situations a lot of the individuals go through, and I can pass on some of my experiences that I've experienced through my journey, and also be able to relate to anyone that's just starting out that if you want, a long career here, you definitely can. If you want to go move up the ranks or do something different, or get to a higher level, you can. And I can share my story with them, and I'm willing to help anybody get there if they want to get there. I can't do it all for them, but if they're willing to put in the work, I'll help them every day. And just to show them it can be done. It doesn't happen overnight. It takes time, but with a little hard work and a little luck, there's always luck involved. Hard work doesn't always make it. There's a little luck involved too. You can get there if you want to.
I think it's kind of neat, because I've heard it. I've heard it from some of your employees. I've heard it from some of my employees, but they look at people like you and they say, hey, I want that. I want to be able to, it's a motivator for them. They say, hey, I want to be able to, start at the ground floor, and I want to become a director someday, and so that's a motivating factor for them that I think is really neat, and I think it helps with our talent pool, because people look at success stories and they say, I can do that.
Right. Nothing more gets my juices flowing when someone comes into my office and say, you know what, I want to go to a higher level, and I'm just going, okay, let's do this. And so that excites me, and some people do, some people don't, and that's okay. But if you do, I'll help them.
Speaking of employees, we've got a lot of things going on to keep the employees busy. I know that Waste Management and Public Works are working together very, very closely, and have been for the last number of months with the storm debris. What are some of the other projects, big projects, that you've got going on, activities?
Well, one of the biggest projects we got going on right now is a recycling staging facility that we're been working on for a while, just going through all the initial steps to kind of see where the community wanted to go, as far as our recycling program. And it's kind of led us to this recycling staging facility. So we've been, working on a design for it. And we still got some other steps to go through to finally get to where we're breaking ground to build it. But so we're working on those. So that's a very big undertaking for the department. We have so many things we're doing every day, but it's things that we do every day, which it takes a lot to get it done every day. It's not simple by no means. There's a lot of moving parts. And but far as big projects, that's probably the biggest thing we got going on right now, and it's just to be able to provide the best recycling program that we can for the city and what the community wants and desires, which we found out through this process. They really desire a high quality recycling program, which we think this recycling station facility is going to do that for us.
And that's big for a community of this size. Right now, we have a contract with somebody, we collect it, and then we take it to them for the recycling. So this will be similar to that, but talk a little bit through how us having our own staging facility is going to differ from where we're at now.
Well, it's going to give us more control. Right now we do have a contract where we're taking it to a local processor, and they kind of control the ball game. With this recycling staging facility, we'll be able to control where we take our material, whether we choose a MRF in Oklahoma City or Tulsa, but we'll be able to control that.
Okay, so tell us what a MRF is.
Okay, a MRF is a material.
It's not a Smurf.
No, it's
a MRF.
Material recovery facility. So you're taking your recycles there to, you're recovering them from the waste stream so that they can be sent and being processed where they can be recycled into the same material again, or they can be made into different recycle items that we buy at the store every day. So you're just trying to keep those items that can be made into something else from going to the landfill, where the landfill is where we take trash, and buried. So we're trying to keep it from being buried and take it somewhere that it can do some good, and just not sit in a pile of dirt. So we're really excited about that. To answer your question, the biggest thing is we just kind of control it, and there's a lot more possibilities, with this recycling staging facility in the future, where maybe other communities, possibility around Stillwater.
So more of a regional.
Yeah, we
thing?
could be a hub and spoke to where smaller communities, Perkins, Cushing, or Ripley, or whatever. Maybe they decide they want to do recycling. Well, they're kind of been in the same boat as us. Is in this area where we're in, we're so far. Well, I'll say we're an hour from Oklahoma City or Tulsa, so we could give other smaller communities an opportunity, possibly in the future, to where they could bring us their recycling, and and at that point, the city of Stillwater could possibly, start making some revenue, off of by taking in other communities' recycling. So there's a lot of possibilities to it, and so we're pretty excited about it.
I'm all for Stillwater being kind of the shining bright star in north central Oklahoma. We are the biggest city in this area outside of Tulsa, or the metros and those communities right around them. So things that we can do like that, where we are the hub to have such a draw and have that life and that activity brought back into the city, I think that's fantastic.
Yes.
And especially if we can prepare for it now, for some opportunity, coming in the future. May or may not come, but we're getting ready for it now.
Right.
Stillwater does a lot of progressive things from, my perspective, that really, bring positive light to our community and the things we do. So I think this is just one of those.
Yeah, it's just another one. I mean, you're right, Mark. We've done a lot in this organization to really put ourselves on the map in the state of Oklahoma. So we have a lot to be proud of.
And you serve on state board?
Well, I am on the SWANA board, which is the Solid Waste Association of North America. I am currently the president of the Oklahoma chapter. I am also serve on a board that's MWMA. It's Municipal Waste Mayors Association. So it's a kind of a sub of the Mayors Association. And so it's just a solid waste organization, MWMA, and it's from solid waste directors and managers across the United States. And we meet every other month, and then we also have a conference every month where we just all sit around and talk solid waste, you know. And
Oh, I bet that's exciting.
it's pretty solid. It's pretty exciting for us because what I've found, it doesn't matter. I visit with the individual that, you know, runs the program in Los Angeles, and you find that our issues and their issues are not any different. They're just on a bigger scale, but it's the same issues. And you also come across individuals that maybe have solved some of those issues that you're having, and so you're able to come away, well, okay, you know, I haven't thought of that. That's how we're going to fix that. So you can come back and, you know, it may not look exactly how there's, because every city's different. It may look a little different, but you've got an idea now how to fix that. So, and I'm a big believer in, you know, that whatever issue you're having, there's someone out there that's faced it. And so you don't have to go home and dream stuff up necessarily and go throwing it on the chalkboard, because I think you can find someone that can help you out. And that's a huge benefit of being a part of different organizations, because just that networking can really help you out a lot.
Yep. So the city of Stillwater is fortunate to have so many of our employees who want to hold positions in professional organizations, and I'm grateful that the city encourages that, because there are communities that can't afford for you to be gone, you know, to a 3-day conference a couple of times a year, or have the travel and training expenses that go along with it or something like that. But Stillwater is very fortunate, and our employees are fortunate too, because you do bring so much back that can help improve this community and this organization.
Yeah, I agree totally. That's one thing. This City Stillwater organization, they've never hesitated in the employees being part of any outside organization or going to training. That's never been an issue. And but you're right. I speak with a lot of people all the time where it's a little different in other organizations, and it's not as easy, you know, for them to go do those things. So I've always been very grateful that. I can't remember one time I've ever been told no, and that's going, you know, when I've held other positions, you know, no one, they're always, yeah, please, you know, go do that. So I've always been grateful.
Yeah, that's encouraging. So switching gears a little bit, let's talk about, I know you get lots of phone calls. How do I establish service? I want to upsize my recycling cart, or, you know, just all kinds of questions are thrown out at you. Where do people need to go? Who do they need to contact? Do you take care of all of this? Does another city department? How does that work?
Well, if you need to do anything with change of your service, everything goes through our customer service department. Now, you can definitely call us. We definitely love taking phone calls, but we have to send you through our customer service, because especially if you're wanting to change anything to do with your billing, it has to go through customer service so they can do that. But everything that we do outside of the norm, we do by work order system. So, and customer service is the ones who submit those work orders for us. So if you need to change your cart size, if you need to get your cart repaired, if you want to schedule a roll-off, if you want to schedule an extra pickup or whatever that may be, you would need to call customer service, and they'll take all the information from you and send us a work order to complete it for you.
So call them at 405-372-0025.
Yep. Yes, ma'am. Yep. Call them there, and then just let them know that you need to speak with customer service, and they'll
help you get set up?
They'll get you set up.
Okay, and then y'all will take it from there when you get that work order.
Yes. Yeah, we'll get that work order. Usually if you call it in today, we're going to get it in the morning, and then we'll take care of it for you.
Okay, that's pretty quick, pretty efficient.
It is pretty quick, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's nice to do things not having to actually come into City Hall. Now, establishing brand new service is different,
Yes.
because that does require you need to come in, because there's deposits and all kinds of information that needs to be provided.
Yes, they'll need information from you to start a new service, yes. So you have to come in. But otherwise, everything else you can just do over the phone.
Okay, good.
All right.
So what about any advice that you can give to somebody who may be a little curious about what all waste management involves?
Well, there's a lot to it, to be honest with you. So if anyone ever wants to know what's involved in the solid waste, our department or whatever, call me anytime, and I'd be happy to visit with them or schedule a time to meet with them, anytime. I love talking about solid waste, so you're gonna, it'll be fun for me. So if they would like to call, just call me. And we do have things on the website, that you can go to. The City Stillwater website kind of explains different aspects of our department and during the residential, commercial, whatever. But if you want more detail, whatever, please give me a call. I'd be happy to visit with you.
Chris touches on an interesting point too, because we all are accessible. I mean, people can call, they can talk to us, and I'm like, Chris, I enjoy talking to people, and so yeah, give Chris a call. I mean, he'll walk you through it. So,
And if anybody wants to see one of the best sunrises, go out on the south end of the airport by the waste management office, and you can catch some gorgeous sunrises out there.
on a warm day,
Yeah, don't do it today. No.
not a cold, windy day.
No.
No, you do. You have some good sunrises out there, and it's always fun to watch the planes take off. You get to see American Airlines take off and come back in every day, so that's always kind of fun to watch.
And there's fixing to be quite a bit of construction out there around your area too.
Yeah, and there already is. The airport's doing a lot of construction out there. That's another thing. We welcome anybody to come by our facility anytime if they'd like to see. All the equipment we have out there. Of course, every citizen here at Stillwater helps us, get all that equipment from the rates that they pay. So, at any time if they'd like to come out there and see what they're paying for, be happy to have them.
Good. Well, y'all heard it here. You are invited out to the waste management office.
That's right.
Yeah. Just give Chris a call and he can give you a tour.
Yep, anytime. We like
Good.
showing off our stuff, so.
Good. Well, thank you so much for your time and spending it with us and informing our listeners on waste management and some of the stuff you do and a couple of your interests and how you got to where you are. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of folks who are going, well, I might like to just take a ride out there and see what all's happening out there on the south side of the airport.
I hope so. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it. We receive a number of questions from a lot of different places like social media, phone calls, email, and we call it our mailbox. So we had a question that come in, or actually more of an inquiry about the responsibility of trees on private property. This one happened to be within a city utility easement. So Mark, can you fill us in on how to handle that and the responsibility for it?
Yeah, utility easements only give the utility owner the right to be located there. The responsibility for any tree located on private property lies with the property owner. So the private tree removal business can assist with this situation if necessary.
And it happens fairly regularly that we get a question like that because the tree may be interfering with somebody's backyard fences, for example. Or that tree on their property, it was great when it was small,
Yep.
but now all of the roots or the limbs are hanging over on the neighbor, or it may be interfering with the sewer line that's running through the backyard.
Yep.
It's still, this is good information, that it's the property owner's responsibility, not the utility company's.
Correct.
Yeah, good to know. Okay, thank you. Well, Mark, I want to thank you for co-hosting with me today, and We will be so excited to have you back as co-host for all of these podcasts with us.
Well, thank you, Paula, and I really look forward to it. Stay tuned for our next podcast.
If you have a question for us, email news@stillwater.org, and on the next podcast, we'll answer a few. You can find FYI Stillwater on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, and anywhere else you enjoy your podcasts.